What's up, guys? Back with another Today in MMA video. It is your host Andrew, and we are going to be talking about fights to make after UFC 294. So let's get started with, I guess, the one of the first few fights, which is Said Nurmagomedov. I think he is ready to, fight someone in the top 10 at least. I definitely think he should fight someone in the top 10. He's just making things look easy. He had some few setbacks, but I feel like he's putting it all together now, And I think he deserves someone in the top 10. So I'm looking at the top 10 for bantamweight right now, 4 fights with him, and I am seeing a matchup with Pedro Munoz. I think, if he can get through Pedro Munoz, I feel like Pedro Munoz is like a gatekeeper. Most people that get a title shot or are close to a title shot fight Pedro Munoz first, He's coming off a loss fighting Marlon Vera, and I think he doesn't really have much to say. I think he's just going to have to fight anyone until he, eventually gets back to the top 5 or whatever, and I think Said Nurmagomedov would be a good fight for him. And next we got Iskrim Alaskarov. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He looked really, really good against Wally Alves, and Wally Alves, he's the only guy, or he's the first guy actually to finish Covington, the only guy to submit him, if you guys didn't know, a little tidbit. He hasn't been really consistent, and I believe this is moving up in weight because obviously fighting Colby was at welterweight. Ikram looks like a beast, and his only loss is to Khamzat Chimaev, and I think, he's as good as Chimaev. Lucky punches happen, right? I believe that he should fight a top 10 opponent next, I think, or at least top 15, right? Just put him in the deep end already because he already shows that he can put people away within minutes, right? So I think he should possibly fight the winner of Brendan Allen and Paul Craig. That would be a good fight. That would be a good testing point to see where he's at, and then, sky's the limit for him. Like I said, only loss was to Khamzat Chimaev, and that's not really, people lose to him. He's undefeated for a reason. And then we got Magomed Ankalaev and Johnny Walker. Honestly, I think they should just rematch it because there's not too many people they haven't fought in light heavyweight. And, that one sucked. Like, what was that? I don't even know what that is. They should rematch, and there should be bad blood next time because of all that fiasco that happened afterwards where they were trying to fight each other while people were coming in. Dana White had to calm them down and shit. So definitely would be interesting. They should definitely run it back. And then we got to the meat and potatoes. We got Khamzat Chimaev and Kamaru Usman. I think Khamzat Chimaev is not ready for a title shot, and to get it off winning Kevin Holland in a catchweight, and I know he's ranked at welterweight, but the whole idea of having 2 ranked welterweights fight at middleweight for a middleweight title shot isn't realistic. Like, what the hell are we doing here, And after that performance, I thought Kamaru Usman was going to get washed, but he proved me wrong. He actually did very good, and some would even say that he might have even won that fight. I would say at most a draw possibly, but Khamzat pretty much won that fight. And, if he broke his hand, then he's going to have to wait out a bit longer to even get that title shot. But like Sean Strickland says, that's not enough to earn a title shot, even though Sean Strickland he was already a top 5 middleweight or top 10 middleweight, but, beating Abu, whatever his name is, doesn't warrant a title shot. So he got lucky as well. And he was saying, he is definitely a popular fighter, and if you're about making money, you best fight Khamzat Chimaev, because I checked his Instagram not today but like a few days ago. It's like at 6 million, which is very high. Israel Adesanya has good numbers. John Jones, Khabib and Conor they're on their own level, but then you got the other ones like John Jones and Israel Adesanya's and all that stuff. You can kind of tell how popular a fighter is by their Instagram following. As silly as it sounds, it does seem like it works. It seems accurate, right? And then we got Kamaru Usman, who did pretty good at middleweight for his first time on 11 days notice. I think he should fight Robert Whittaker. 2 former champions. Both of them are from welterweight, and I think Robert Whittaker would be a good test to see where Kamaru Usman is at in his career, and if he can contend with the top of the top at middleweight. I think that would be a good fight. Like I said, they are both former welterweights, and if Kamaru Usman, I don't know if he's moving back down because he's literally lost to the champion twice in a row, and I don't know if he's ever going to get a title shot at welterweight again. So you might as well start anew at middleweight and go in the deep end right away, because his clock is ticking. Like I said, he's 36 years old, and he ain't getting any younger. So let's see what he can do. Let him fight Robert Whittaker. They're both coming off a loss, but they're highly competitive and former champions, so it should be a good one. Let me know what you guys think. Who should Kamaru Usman fight next? And then we got Alexander Volkanovski and we got Islam Makhachev. And I would say that Volkanovski wants to fight Ilia Topuria in January. I would advise against that, but I would want him to fight him next. Just give it some time. You know, you just kind of got destroyed with a head kick. So let's just rest that brain, rest that head of yours, so you can be fresh when you defend your featherweight title, because it's, you know, you still got records to uphold on there. Just because you lost to the lightweight champ doesn't really diminish your stuff, especially since you took it on 11 days notice, you know. So I definitely think he should fight Ilia Topuria next, just not in January, maybe in like March or something. And then Islam Makhachev, I think he should either fight Charles or Justin Gaethje. There's really no other two contenders out there or interesting fights out there other than Dustin Poirier, but he's coming off a loss, right? So those are the two that I would suggest for Islam Makhachev. I think Dana White wants to do Islam versus Charles too still, so there's that. But yeah, those are the fights I think that they should make after 294. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Other than that, hopefully you guys have a great day. Peace out.